Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1982 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox at Comiskey Park. On the mound for Detroit is Jack Morris, whose record is 3-0 with a 1.99 ERA. And pitching today for the White Sox is John Matlack, whose record is 1-1 with a 4.66 ERA. And so we are glad to get out of Cleveland and move on to Comiskey Park. We split the series with the Indians. It felt like we lost all four, to be honest. Tom Brookins, former Tiger, just kicked our ass the whole series. He had 3 home runs against us, a couple stolen bases, and we really struggled with our pitching. So we're hoping to have some better luck in Chicago versus the White Sox. One thing we want to take a look at real quick, I want to show you, as I do whenever we go to a new stadium, is that stadium's, oops, I think I have the wrong thing here. I sure do. We are going to show you the stadium ratings for Comiskey Park so you can see how the offense and the pitching may be affected. Here we go. So the park factor overall is 97, so it's 3% lower effects than an average stadium. Home runs by lefties and righties are below average, both. And hits for lefties is 4% above average, and hits for righties are 2% above average. So essentially, lefties fare better in Comiskey Park overall, but it's a pitcher's park with that rating. A high triples amount, doubles below average. Below average strikeouts, double plays occur here more often. Errors occur here a lot. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out before we get started today so you could take a look and see what we are maybe in store for here at Comiskey Park. Let's go ahead and get today's game started. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe if you enjoy this content. We're going to talk about Ron Kittle today. He is our player of focus. And I don't know, hopefully you saw, but on our title card, there's 2 separate photos there of the 1982 White Sox uniforms that were discarded as possible ideas for a new style for the team. And we all know which one they chose, which was the White Sox uniform that has the Sox across the front of it. So I thought it was pretty cool. I hope you got a chance to take a look at those. Here is Jack Morris facing the Sox today. He's had 80 plate appearances against these Sox, and he's been successful with a 221 batting average against him. All the bullpen is available because we did have the day off yesterday. Just as of note, there was no transactions on the day off. And then John Matlack on the mound is a lefty. So we have our lineup in there versus lefties, which means we take Gibby out, we rotate the outfield as Henderson takes over left, Dawson is in center, and Glenn Wilson will be our right fielder today. Marty Castillo is having a Marty party behind the plate, his first start at catcher, and Lance is still in there at DH. Okay, let's switch over the stats to season stats, and we'll go ahead and do the official Tigers lineup rundown with Rickey Henderson leading off and playing left field today. Batting second at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting third at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting cleanup in center field is Andre Dawson. Batting fifth and DHing is Lance Parrish. Batting sixth at first base is Greg Brock. Batting seventh at third base is Mickey Hatcher. Batting eighth in right field is Glenn Wilson, and batting ninth and catching today is Marty Castillo. And here's John Matlack, high-paid free agent, making $850,000. Hit his second season with the Sox. He had that great year, although he was injured with Texas going 9-0, and then only went 9-9 in his first season in Chicago. Off to a 1-1 start with a 4.66 ERA. His fastballs top out around 88 miles an hour. Fastball is a pretty effective pitch, though. 86 is his rating, so well above average, and he mixes in a curveball. So really just a 2-pitch starter. which those pitchers don't seem to have a lot of effectiveness over time. Here is the defensive alignment for the Chicago White Sox today. As you can see, the left fielder is Ron Kittle. We're going to talk about him later, but he's below average out there in left, and there's good reason for that. We'll get to that. Okay, Rickey Henderson leading off against John Matlack. Batted .255 last year versus lefties, and he walks to lead off the game. We're going to try to steal second. 76% chance against crud off Biff Pocoroba. Arm is at 82. We're just pointing this out here real quick. Terrible range behind the plate. So let's see how Rickey does with Sweet Lou up. Still nobody out. And Rickey does steal second base. So there we go. 4th stolen base. I believe he's been caught 4 times. Runner in scoring position now for Whitaker with an 0-1 count. And Whitaker flips it to the left, and Kittle makes the play. Do we want to tag up on Kittle? We're going to say no. We're going to give Trammell a chance here to drive in a run. 5 for 12 against John Matlack. And a ground ball up the middle. It gets past the shortstop. Mullins and Henderson had to hold up as the ground ball came in front of him. So he holds at third. 1st and 3rd for Hawk. We're going to hit and run for sure now. 1 down. And runners on 1st and 2nd. And Dawson is going to drive in a run with a sac fly. Rickey scores easily. And it's 1-0 Detroit. So off to a good start. We'll take that. Here's Parrish in the DH role today, and he strikes out swinging. So we go to the bottom of the 1st. Tigers are up 1-0. Here's a lineup rundown for the Chicago White Sox. Batting leadoff and playing center field is Oddibe McDowell. Batting second at first base is Mike Squires. Batting third at third base is Untitled. Batting cleanup and in left field is Ron Kittle. Batting 5th at shortstop is Fran Mullins. Batting 6th and catching today is Biff Pocoroba. Batting 7th in right field is Rusty Kuntz. Batting 8th and DHing is Henry Cruz. And batting 9th at second base is Neil Fiala. Pitching for the Tigers is Jack Morris. Off to a good start, making his 4th start, 3-0. He had that complete game shutout to start off the season. He has a 1.99 ERA, 22 innings pitched, only 12 Ks against 10 walks. Opponents are batting 143 against him, 11 hits only. That's a pretty amazing start. His fastball tops out around 95 miles an hour. And that's not his effective pitch. He's got a slider and a changeup, which is well below average. We don't want to see that at all. Okay, let's talk about Ron Kittle real quick here as you take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment. Ron Kittle, I was amazed when I did a little research on him. He was undrafted. The Dodgers signed him in 1977 as a free agent. And in 1978, he was cut by the Dodgers after he went through a spinal fusion surgery. It was in a neck brace for 4 months. He worked construction after recovering from that surgery. And in 1978, he signed with the Chicago White Sox. They converted him to catcher as they really couldn't find a position for him. As I mentioned earlier in the game with his low rating in left field, he was a terrible fielder wherever he played. And so the Sox thought they would give him a shot to catch. But he was ineffective, moved him to the outfield, and then finally he started to hit. In 1981, he hit 40 home runs in Double-A and was the Double-A Player of the Year. And he topped that in 1982 by hitting 50 home runs in Triple-A, and he was the Minor League Player of the Year. So he finally got a call-up with the Sox in 1983. And what did he do? He won Rookie of the Year, hitting 35 home runs, which was third best in the American League. Marked as an all-star and helped the White Sox win 99 games and win the division. And then he was an effective hitter after that. People mostly put him at DH, or he played some first base toward the end of his career. He bounced around a lot as he struck out and always had a low average. He'd be a perfect hitter in the modern times. He had 176 career home runs, and he never hit a grand slam. That is the second most home runs ever without hitting a grand slam. The record is held by Glenn Davis, who primarily played for Houston. He had 190 home runs without ever hitting a grand slam. So that is some background history there on Ron Kittle, an interesting guy and a pretty big slugger in his own time. Here we go with the ball game. Let's get back to that as Oddibe McDowell hits a ground ball for a base hit past Trammell, and the leadoff runner's on. McDowell played for the 1984 Olympic team. He's got some pretty decent speed as he steals second base. That is McDowell's third stolen base on the season so far. And he is in scoring position for Mike Squires, and there we go, base hit to left. McDowell should score, he does, and just like that, the game is tied. So an RBI single for Squires. He is on first with Buddy Bell due up, and Bell gets a base hit to left. Oh boy. Yeah, our pitchers have been struggling. The last three starts, especially in Cleveland, we got rocked. We're going to keep the infield back, try to turn two on Kittle, who's not very fast, neither is Buddy Bell. And Kittle strikes out. There we go. Ron Kittle was actually listed as a catcher in this simulation. I switched it before the season started to left field because he wasn't even getting into games. And as I mentioned, he was Rookie of the Year in '83, so he wasn't even playing at this point as Mullins hits a ground ball to third. And the Tigers go around the horn, and we limit the damage to 1 run. So we go to the top of the second, all tied at 1. Greg Brock playing today, lefty on lefty. And Brock pops it up to third. There's 1 down. Mickey Hatcher up next. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. There we go. Hatcher has definitely been our most consistent hitter. As Glenn Wilson is up. We're going to hit and run with Wilson. I'm reluctant to move Hatcher up in the lineup, though, because whenever I do, he seems to go 0-4. So, Glenn Wilson, spot start in right field, hits a ground ball to third, and Hatcher advances. So 2 down, and a chance for Marty Castillo to drive in the go-ahead run, and he strikes out. We go to the bottom of the second with Biff Pocoroba leading off the inning. White Sox signed 2 free agent catchers in the offseason, Jim Sundberg and Biff Pocoroba, and it looks like Pocoroba is going to be the everyday catcher. And he gets a base hit to center. That's 4 hits against Morris so far. God, let's make it 5 with Rusty Kuntz going the opposite way for a hit. So, yeah, this is the game, I think, swinging back the other way, which it does. As Henry Cruz is up, 3 for 10 in his career against Morris. Morris had only given up 11 hits in those 22 innings. He's given up 5 today. And an error by Castillo will load the bases. This is about to get really messy. There's clearly nothing we can do about this. We're going to pull the infield in and do our best to limit the damage as number 9 hitter Fiala strikes out. That'll help us out. We're not going to double up Oddibe McDowell. We're going to have to pull the infield in again and just hope for a ground ball that we can go home and get Pocoroba. Nope, there's a base hit. That's 2 runs. It's 3-1. 2 RBI single for McDowell. Now we'll play back and just keep our fingers crossed as Squires hits a high fly ball to right field. Wilson makes the play. 2 down for Buddy Bell. And Bell pops it up. Weakly to short. And Trammell will make the play. So, what is that? 3 hits that inning, an error, and it's 3-1 White Sox. Back to the top of the third with Rickey Henderson leading off. He walks, stole a base here on a 3-0 count. He hits a ground ball to third. There's one down. Sweet Lou up next. Whitaker, base hit to center field. Do we want to go for two? We're going to say no. Keep Whitaker at first and give Trammell a chance here to move him along. There we go, a walk. We'll take that, first and second. For Dawson. Dawson drove in the Tigers' only run with the sac fly. And he hits a ground ball to third. So they go around the horn to get the double play. We go to the bottom of the third with Ron Kittle leading off. Kittle struck out his first time, and Morris walks Kittle to lead off the inning. This is going to be a short outing, I can tell, as Mullins hits a line drive to first. And Kittle gets doubled off. Catch him napping over there. That's a double play. That goes in our favor. We'll take it. Maybe the momentum will change. Nope. Biff. Biffs it to left. 7 hits against Morris already. And then Kuntz pops it up to short. And that's the third out. We go to the top of the fourth. Here is Lance Parrish leading off. 1 for 10 in his career against Matlack. And he gets a base hit. There we go. Leadoff man is on once again. Runner on first with Brock up. Brock doesn't do anything good, particularly. We can't hit and run, so we got to let him swing away, and a ground ball to third. Buddy Bell goes around the horn once again. Mickey Hatcher up next, base hit to center field. Let's get a 2-out rally going. We need a long ball. Where's the home runs been for us this season? Pass ball by the catcher Pocoroba allows Hatcher to go to second. Chance for Glenn Wilson to drive in a run. Ground ball to short. That won't get it done. And that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 White Sox. Henry Cruz leading off. Cruz hits the ground ball to short. 1 down. Next up is Neil Fiala, everyday second baseman for the Sox now, and he gets in on the action with a base hit to left. Henderson commits an error and allows Fiala to go to second. So yeah, we are going through a phase now where, again, we're on the road. It's a road trip. As McDowell lines out to right, Fiala holds. But we're going through a phase now where we're sort of evening up our numbers. And it's painful, for me at least, as Squires flies out to center field. And we go to the top of the fifth. Marty Castillo leading off. He's 1 for 10 against Matlack in his career. That's kind of impressive considering he has only made a few starts. Castillo grounding out to third. 1 down. And then Henderson strikes out. And Sweet Lou, one of the Tigers' 5 hits, hits the ground ball to short. And a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Buddy Bell leading off. I really didn't think Morris would get this far, as he's given up 8 hits and make it 9 as Bell rips it into the left field corner. And another error by Henderson, who won the Gold Glove in center last year, allows Bell to get to third. That's our 3rd error of the game. What are we going to do here? Let's. I mean, we can't afford to give up another run, but there's no out, so let's go against the batter. And a base hit to right. That's it. So Morris has given up as many hits this game as he's given up the whole season so far. That is ridiculous. And coming off a day off, too. All right, we're going to bring in Tom Hume. It's kind of our long reliever. Runner on first, 4-1 White Sox. Here's Fran Mullins, and Hume strikes out Mullins. So already, better start than what Morris did. Pocoroba ground ball to short, turning 2. Yeah, there we go. So, great job by Hume getting us out of that jam. And we go to the top of the 6th, 4-1. I mean, we're down only by 3 runs. And this team is definitely capable of putting a string of hits together, but not the way we're playing so far today, as Trammell grounds out to second. Dawson blooping it into left center field, and it will be caught by Ron Kittle, who suddenly is a better outfielder than Henderson. And then Lance Parrish strikes out. We've got nothing, folks. Okay, we're going to let Hume pitch to Rusty. They haven't faced each other before. And Kuntz gets a base hit to left. Oh, and then Henderson comes up firing and throws out Kuntz at second base. What is going on in left field out there today? There's one down. I guess we'll let Hume pitch to these lefties then. It's 4 in a row. Cruz gets a base hit to left. Now what's Henderson going to do with it? I guess he hits the cutoff man this time. So Cruz is on first. One down. Here's Neil Fiala. And a wild pitch by Hume allows Cruz to go to second. We're going to pull the outfield in for this weak hitter, just in case it falls in. Ground ball to short. Cruz is thrown out at third. This is just a bunch of base running blunders by both teams, as Fiala is safe at first. So 2 down, Oddibe McDowell up. Oddibe hits a ground ball to second base, and that'll do it. 12 hits, though, for the Sox as we go to the top of the 7th with Greg Brock leading off. Matlack now at 87 pitches. And another hit by Greg Brock. Maybe we keep Brock in there versus lefties from now on. We're going to say no. We are going to hit and run with Hatcher. That's what he does well. He's 2 for 2 on the day and has been very successful at hitting and running. This time he hits a weak ground ball to short. That will get Brock into scoring position. We need Glenn Wilson to be clutch here, and he pops it up. It's just not going to happen today, folks. 2 down. Marty Castillo is up, and he strikes out. The 5th strikeout for Matlack today. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Let's go ahead and take out Hume, who gave up a couple of hits, but pitched pretty well, actually. We have a lefty and a bunch of righties. So we're going to bring in another righty. We're going to bring in Dave Patterson. No, we're not. We're going to bring in... Yeah, we're going to bring in Patterson and Kerrigan if we need to. So Kerrigan will get in there for the fans of Joe Kerrigan and his sidearm pitch. So here's Mike Squires. I'm going to flip it over to the in-game stats. Let's try to keep it moving along. Squires 1 for 3 with an RBI today, and there's another hit. Just under the glove of Whitaker at second base. Runner on first for Buddy Bell. Bell base hit to left. He's 3 for 4 on the day. First and second now for Ron Kittle. Kittle base at the left. 3 straight hits, 15 hits overall, and Squires has to hold. The only batter that does not have a hit in the lineup is Fran Mullins, and he's got bases juiced. He pops it up. We jam him. We pulled in the infield. Again, we cannot afford to give up any runs, and it works there. We're going to move. No, Pocoroba is a switch hitter. So, yeah, he is going to bat left-handed versus Patterson. And we've got to pull the infield in again. I mean, it's a strategy to use. What can you do? And a ground ball to short. And they turn 2. They go 6-2-3. We do it the hard way, and we get out of another jam. With 15 hits, this game should be so far out of control. We're fortunate enough to be in this game with 6 outs to go. Henderson strikes out looking. 6 Ks for Matlack. He's at 101 pitches. Sweet Lou up next. He's got a hit today. And he pops out to first. And then Trammell swinging at high cheese. Just sends a fly ball to the warning track, but not deep enough. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Okay, we are going to bring in Joe Kerrigan, folks. You love your Kerrigan. Righty sidearm pitcher. He's going to face Rusty Kuntz, and this will lefties. We'll give him a chance to pitch against the lefties. Oh, he walks Kuntz. Oh, boy. Runner on first for Henry Cruz. And a pass ball by Castillo allows Kuntz to go to second. Castillo's got a pass ball, an error, a wild pitch, and he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. And then another walk. We're going to guard the lines for Neil Fiala. Ground ball to short. That could be 2. Another double play. Kuntz standing on third base, though, with 2 down. And we're back to Oddibe McDowell. McDowell 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. And he sends it deep to center field. Caught by Dawson on the fence line. And we get out of another jam. We're down to our final 3 outs. We have Dawson, Parrish, and Brock due up. Matlack still looking good. Striking out Dawson. He's totally in control. 7 Ks now for Matlack. Lance Parrish, weak ground ball to Buddy Bell at third. There's 2 down. And it's up to Greg Brock. He has a hit today, and he nubs it right back to Matlack. Ineffectual all the way around. More errors than runs today as we fall 4-1 to the White Sox in the opening game of the series. We fall to 10-4, and there is a trade offer from the Rangers. They're dumping salary, and we really cannot afford it. Charlie Huff, though, let's just take a look at Huff. Pitching in relief on this team. Does he have his knuckleball? He does have a knuckleball. Anyway, that's not going to do us any good. He's not going to help us, really. And a second baseman with Whitaker we would never use. And they want Bryn Smith, who we need at this moment. You know, at least until Petrie comes back. So we're going to say no. Let's take a look at the standings. We are still in first place, 10-4 record, with the New York Yankees and last year's last place team, Kansas City Royals, are off to an 11-2 start. So they're going from last to first. National League each has a 10-game winner. The same 2 teams that made the playoffs last year. Take a look at transactions real quick. Nothing of note at all. Let's go right to the box score and get out of here. Try to forget about this one. We lost 2 in a row now. And we'll come back with game 2 of the 3-game series. Player of the game, nobody deserves it. We're going to give it to Mickey Hatcher, though. He had a couple base hits at least. Andre Dawson did have a sac fly, but that doesn't really do much for us. So that's going to be Hatcher's 4th player of the game so far. Morris takes a loss, goes to 3-1. He was due for a bad one. That was rough. A lot of hits. 10 hits given up. Our relievers were pathetic. Really, when you look at it, they gave up 3, 5, 7 base runners in 4 innings. But none of them scored, so we'll say that is a positive. Matlack gets the win. He is 2-1 on this season. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Come back tomorrow with game 2. Until then, have yourself a great day.